prayer. Ends anybody, please excuse yourself till we're done and then you can come back in.
Would you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Victor, lead us a prayer.
Your wonderful Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful day you've allowed us to come to a quorum today. We thank you for everything you're doing in the city. We ask for your perfect will tonight. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Need a roll call?
Council Bradshaw,
Here.
Councilman Naranjo,
Here.
Councilor Sabella,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard,
Here.
Mayor Becker,
Here.
a quorum is declared.
Any modifications to the agenda?
No, sir, there are no modifications to the agenda.
Okay, approval of consent agenda. Minutes from regular meeting from April 16th, 2026, and review and approval of accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda from the minutes of regular meeting April 16th, 2026, and approval of accounts payable. Was there any discussion? Unita?
Councilor Bradshaw,
Yes.
Councilman Naranjo,
Aye.
Councilor Sabella,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard,
Yes.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carries to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, we'll move on to proclamations, communications, and appointments. And the first proclamation will be Mental Health Month proclamation, and I understand we have people in the audience. Come on up. When you get up there, state your name, please.
My name is Victoria Romero. Read it.
Yes, ma'am.
This proclamation declares May Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of Monte Vista, Colorado. Whereas there is a proven connection between good mental health and overall personal health, and whereas mental illness affects almost every family in America, and whereas people with mental illness recover if given the necessary services and supports in their communities, and whereas people with mental illness make important contributions to our families and our communities, and whereas millions of adults and children are disabled by mental illness every year, and whereas 1 out of 2 people with serious forms of mental illness seek treatment for his or her mental illness, and whereas stigma and fear of discrimination keep many who would benefit from mental health services from seeking help, and whereas research shows that the most effective way to reduce stigma through personal contact with someone with a mental illness, and whereas good mental health is critical to the well-being of our families, communities, schools, and businesses. And whereas greater public awareness about mental illness can change negative attitudes and behaviors towards people with mental illness. Now, therefore, I, Dale Becker, Governor, on behalf of the city of Monte Vista, Colorado, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Mental Health Month. As the mayor of Monte Vista, I call upon all Monte Vista citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, business and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental illness, reducing stigma and discrimination, and promoting appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental illness.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to sign that.
Thank you. Bring it to you. Or
Anybody have any questions for her?
Well, and Victoria, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. It's been a few years.
yeah.
Why don't you tell the board, the council, what your title is and give a little bit of background about the organization you run.
Absolutely. So Victoria Romero, I'm the CEO with San Luis Valley Behavioral Health Group. I've been in that position just a couple of years, although I've worked for the center for about 25 years. I'm a clinician by training. And I want to just extend gratitude that you're willing to do this and declare this proclamation. I think May is an important month for those of us who work in behavioral health. It gives us an opportunity to celebrate our staff who provide an essential service with mission-driven passion. It also allows us an opportunity to reach out to community, provide education, awareness, advocacy around mental illness, and really seek out resources to provide this critical service in our communities. And I think in times like this where we know resources are getting stretched, it's getting harder in our communities. It's such a critical time to be thoughtful about how mental health is part of our overall health and well-being.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce who you came with?
Sure. Introduce yourselves. I'm Kylie, I'm with the marketing team at Satisfied Behavioral Health Group. I'm Angie, I'm the executive administrative manager with Satisfied Behavioral Health Group.
Do you need this? You need it?
Yes, Victoria will email you a copy of it on Monday morning.
All right, thank
We
you.
can pass it down. Thank you, Victoria.
And again, thank you for your support and your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we will do the Arbor Day proclamation. Mr. Vance.
Thank you, City Council Mayor. This proclamation is from the Tree City USA and Arbor Day Foundation program. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable source, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Monte Vista City Council will observe May 13th, 2026 as Arbor Day and ask for the citizens to join us at Chapman Park at 2 p.m. and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support the efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and further urge all citizens to plant and care for trees to gladden the hearts and promote well-being of future generations. Dated this 7th day of May 2026. Dale Becker, Mayor.
Thank you, Rob. How many trees you planted at Chapman Park?
We're gonna do 2 trees on the 13th. And then beginning the very first part of June, we have 188 more trees coming in with our spring planting program.
But they all,
There are a variety of species.
but they all
There's
accounted
space
for,
throughout, so
allocated somewhere.
yeah, so this year there's 100 trees that are slated for private citizens. So any private citizen, the application process is still open, so anybody listening to this or anybody that wants a tree in your yard is more than welcome to apply. It is free. There is no cost. The only thing that we ask is once the tree is planted, that as a citizen, that you take care of the tree, make sure it's watered and taken care of. The company called Super Trees will come in, they will plant the tree, they will provide you the necessary education on how to properly care for the tree, make sure it gets enough water weekly, monthly, take care of it. We of course will come by and just kind of monitor. Doesn't matter if it's in your front yard or in your backyard, it's really up to you as a citizen where you want the tree. The application is online at the City of Monte Vista website. So please, if you have any interest in getting a tree, it's an open process. There is no fees associated with it. You can simply go online, fill out the application. I'm more than happy to give those to you. Like I said, we did slate for this spring planting 100 trees. There's more than enough to go around, so encourage everybody that wants one to do that. We have 88 trees that are gonna go in public areas. Those are being finalized now. So yeah, there's more than enough. I don't wanna have to try to figure out where to plant
And
100
Rob-
other trees.
And Rob,
So-
who qualifies for a free tree?
Any resident within the city of Monte Vista. So
City one.
as long as you're within the city limits of Monte Vista, you're more than welcome to apply. We haven't had a final decision, but we might even extend it out to our service areas. So those people out along Sherman, Spruce and Pine, you might be able to be eligible as well because that's part of our water and sewer service area. So.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
How many citizens have applied for that?
Giselle might be better, but I believe it's 13 now.
13 so far.
Not enough.
National Police Week, May 10th through 16th proclamation.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chief. How are you?
I'm Charlie Stuckman, Chief of Police. I'm going to read the proclamation for National Police Week, which is May 10th through May 16th, 2026. To recognize National Police Week 2026 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed on the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving the communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Monte Vista Police Department. Whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, more than 24,500 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. Whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved in the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial in Washington, D.C., whereas additional names of fallen officers are added to the memorial each year, ensuring their service and sacrifice are never forgotten. And whereas May 15th is dedicated to Peace Officer Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and the U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. And whereas the city of Monte Vista honors its own fallen officers, Knight Marshal Clyde Lewis McDonald, who ended his watch on December 12th, 1921, and Assistant Chief Guy Everett O'Neill, who ended his watch on October 23rd, 1953. Therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Monte Vista hereby recognizes May 10th through May 16th, 2026 as National Police Week in the City of Monte Vista and calls upon all residents to join in honoring the service, dedication, and sacrifices of law enforcement officers in our community and throughout the nation, and that the City of Monte Vista encourages appropriate observations and recognition of Police Officer Memorial Day on May 15th, 2026. Give that to you.
Thank you, Chief.
And I did just want to, obviously, I have some of our officers here, some of the people who are obviously serving our community and different things. And I wanted to kind of give a little bit of background of what National Police Week is. Back in 1962, President John F. Kennedy designated May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day. That week is for the fall, in which all fall on as a National Police Week. Since then, communities across the nation have taken the time to remember those officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty and recognize those in continuous service today. Next week, obviously May 10th through the 16th, starting on Sunday, it's about reflection, remembrance, and gratitude. Our law enforcement officers face difficult situations daily while working to protect others, maintain peace, and serve the community with professionalism and dedication. Our families also share in that sacrifice throughout the long hours, missed holidays, and constant concerns for their loved ones' safety. Here in Monte Vista, I'm proud of the dedicated members of the Monte Vista Police Department and the service that they provide to this community. Tonight, I just wanted to ask the City Council and the community to remember and join us in National Police Week and remember those who have fallen, reflecting on the sacrifice made by law enforcement and their families, and thanking the men and women of this department for their continued commitment, service, and dedicated to the city of Monte Vista. The one thing I ask, or I would say, is that I know that people are always reaching out to me as the chief of police and saying, "Hey, how can we help? How can we, say thank you to the officers?" And I would just say something like that next week is this is the time. If you see our officers, if you see them, thank them. Think about the people who have sacrificed their lives in the line of duty, several even in this community throughout the number of years and stuff. So that's the best time and the best thing I think that I would ask of each and every one of our community members is that at times law enforcement sometimes gets put in a bad light, but there's most dedicated people out there, and you have the most dedicated people in this community. So if there's anything you can do next week, a gratitude of thanks to the men and women that are serving this great community, to just reach out to them and tell them thank you, that would go a long way.
Thank you, President. Thank you, guys.
Would you,
I appreciate
introduce
you
the
guys.
officers over here?
Yes. Well, you guys should all step up here.
Get up there.
So obviously, I have a few people on the street that couldn't come over, so things are going on. But I've got Dylan Golden, Officer Jessica Mormon, Briscoe Bolts, and then we do have some administrative support back here, and everybody that we got. So we really appreciate all of the people that are really sacrificed for our community and doing things. This is a great time for, as I say, for everyone to reach out to these officers and let them know, they put in a lot of time and they're doing a lot of things. We have a lot of changes going on, but they really step up and they're really, the one thing I say every time I come up here is they're very committed to this community. They love the community. It's not about the money, it's about the service that they give. And so I just want you to know that they're very committed to each and every one of you and the dedication that they give. So I do give a round of applause.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. National Clerks Week, May 3rd through 9th proclamation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This week is the 57th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 3rd through May 9th. Whereas the Office of Professional Municipal Clerks, at a time honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerks is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerks provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing body, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality regarding equal service to all. And whereas the professional municipal clerks serve as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of Office of Professional Municipal Clerks throughout participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provisional, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerks. Therefore, it be resolved that the City of Monte Vista Council will observe the week of May 3rd through May 9th as the Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Unique Advance, who has served the city for 10 years of dedicated professional service, accommodating our community in manner of business, courts, notary, licensing, and other vital services she performs, and the exemplary dedication to the community she represents. Also, just to remind you all that the professional municipal clerks, it states in the proclamation that it is the oldest profession in government. It's also the only required profession in government.
Thank you, Nita. So proclaim your service. We'll do National Teachers Week, May 4th through 8th proclamations.
This is such a festive meeting tonight. And we recognize the teachers in our community, but also the role that we have with Kids Connection through what they do with helping our children to learn. So the proclamation for National Teacher Appreciation Week is May the 4th through May the 8th. Whereas through their dedicated efforts to ensure our children learn the knowledge and skills needed to be successful in higher education, careers, and life, teachers are vital in helping build the future. And whereas our country's future depends on providing quality education to all students, and whereas teachers spend countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, and performing community service, and whereas teachers play a crucial role in shaping our children into the people they will become, supporting them through their youth and teaching lessons that will have an impact on students that they will carry on through life. Whereas our community recognizes and supports teachers in educating the children of this community, and whereas Kids Connection is a vital part of the Monte Vista community, offering after-school daycare and summer programming that enhances and supports the learning experience of our students. And whereas the teachers at Marsh Elementary, Bill Metz Elementary, Monte Vista Middle School, Monte Vista High School, Byron Searing Delta Center, and Sargent School are the cornerstone of learning in Monte Vista, where they foster creative minds. And now therefore, that the City of Monte Vista City Council will observe May the 4th through the 8th as Teacher Appreciation Week, extending appreciation to all the teachers at all our education institutions in supporting the minds and the needs of children. And I thought it would be appropriate then to talk real quickly about the mural project that you all are aware of over at the Pump House. And that teacher, the art teacher, her name's Deanna Conley. And I want to recognize the students that helped paint that. And I think it just plays into what teachers do and how they foster the creativity and learning of students. And so we had Kaylin Medina, Jaylin Duran, Savannah Schaefer, Dana Soltz, Yelena Hawkes, Vanessa Ortiz, and Mercedes Trujillo. And that project is completed. So, and it was paid for by the Monte Vista Education Foundation.
That's cool. That's really cool that they did that. Very much so. Thank you, Gigi.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll move to citizen comments. City Council will welcome John's scheduled comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Council will not take action at the same meeting. You got just regular input? No. Okay. Anybody else? You have a minute, 3 minutes. All right, we'll move on to scheduled appearances. In order to be included on this portion of the agenda, you have to file the appropriate paperwork with the city clerk no later than noon on Monday prior to the meeting. We'll have a 1 cent update with Ed Atencio.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Here to just give a brief presentation on the 1 cent financials for 2025. We started, the beginning fund balance was 641,156 and brought in a revenue of 787,775. Minus the expenditures for 2025, which were 459,937. Leaving us with an ending balance of 968,994. That ending balance will be carried over into 2026. I don't know if you had a chance to review the report that was sent to you. But in 2025, the PD continued to staff a full-time police officer and covered a portion of the cost of an investigator. Updated officer training was provided and an additional vehicle was purchased. Public Works conducted various citywide patching repairs and water repairs on Martha, Clearview, and Fifth Streets. Fundings are being held to ensure sufficient capital is available for forthcoming larger scale projects. And for Sky High Complex maintenance and recreational programming. In 2025, a security camera project was completed and new arena lights were installed at the complex. 31,196 people attended events that were held. This ranges across various different types of events that happen at the Sky High Complex. With the biggest ones being Crane Fest, Ag, and Ag Conference and Stampede. One Tech committee is committed to reviewing the financials, and we take that role very seriously. So when we see discrepancies or anything else arise, we question it and we get clarification from our department heads. So, have any questions?
Anybody? No? Thank you for presenting that. That's
Yeah.
nice to know.
Did you get, because I don't see it in your packet, did you get the one sent summary? Oh, I got the wrong
Yeah, we got it.
agenda pulled up.
Well, there's a
Okay, good.
document in there, yes.
Okay. And they had, let's see, we still have a couple of positions to serve on the board. And that was set by the documentation when the ballot was set. And so we need 2 business people. And Stretch, you could serve, we would get 2 for 1 with you. We're supposed to have a city council member on it, and Lauren, you've been on it, but we haven't, the meetings haven't worked on your schedule. And so you could be on it as a business owner as well as the council member.
Wow. Sounds great. Where do I sign?
That was a sales pitch.
We only meet once a quarter,
Mhm.
and so it doesn't, and we usually keep the meetings to 1 hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes. They work through them pretty fast, so. Anyway, and I'm trying to think of.
Sign, you get blood.
Yeah, you get that. Good blood.
Yeah, sorry if you know of anybody, send them our way. It's always nice to have a fresh set of eyes and perspective and get more community involved. So definitely send people, recommend, encourage, motivate them so that people get involved and understand what the one set actually does and what it takes to do a lot of these bigger projects in our community.
And we need somebody on the board that is kind of like the area of Loves over to Pizza Hut and then south to 8th Street. So if you guys know of anybody that lives in that area that would like to, we would reach out to them and see if they'd like to potentially help with this and serve on the advisory board.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Yvette. Thank you, Yvette.
Update on things happening at the Monte Vista Chamber. You need a.
This is that clerk's office again.
That dang clerk. Could send her home. So Gigi has asked me to sit on the chamber, so I attend the chamber meetings, once a month. And I just think that we need some sort of an update for you guys. So I've kind of taken it upon myself to just update you over the last couple of months of things that have happened at the chamber. I'm not gonna update you on numbers that has taken place at the chamber. I don't feel that that is my responsibility to update you of numbers for the chamber, but I just want to update you on some of the things that have taken place at the chamber and some of the things that they're doing. So in January, they of course did the Ag Conference. They had 101 vendors at the Ag Conference, including 13 food trucks, at the ad conference. And then they got ready for Crane Fest and did Crane Fest with and they upped the prices of the booths for Crane Fest. And they upped them to $150 and $175 for the Crane Fest. They did do a business change and they made John Myers their vice president of the chamber. So he is now the vice president of the chamber. And Linda Burnett is no longer a voting member on the chamber. She just sits on the chamber. She doesn't always attend all the meetings, but so they're making changes on the board there. And I need to stop saying the word. They're working with Amy and Ryan to do the MVTAC, which was hired out of Destination Blueprint. So if you all remember doing Destination Blueprint, you two probably, I don't know if you ever attended any of the meetings that were held out at Sky High, but it was a big thing that Gigi and DJ and Rob, I don't know who else started that, but it was a huge project to promote, and I don't know all the beginnings of it, so Gigi could fill you in on how that all started. But it was a big thing to promote recreation through RERC and recreation throughout the community. And then we got Destination Blueprint started, and it was taken over. It was supposed to be a community involvement between the chamber and Monte Vista. And then it was a hired position to bring somebody on to promote Monte Vista through tourism. And they hired Brian, and Amy is Brian's boss, and they hired them to promote Monte Vista through through Fable to do MVTAC. And they're doing a brochure that they're putting together, and they're supposed to be doing it to represent the heart of the valley. At this point, I'm not sure that anybody on the board is extremely happy with the photographs that they've taken or the information that they put together, because it seems like some of the stuff has come from Del Norte, but they are gathering the information and they're putting it all together to present to the chamber. So Heather is working closely with Ryan and Amy to get that all put together. We did have a meeting with another Amy, and she is from the Colorado Tourism Office of Destination and Development Mentor Program. And this is a second stage that's off of the Destination Blueprint that they were able to obtain a grant for. So it's another 100 hours of communication to present and put together some more tourism information for Monte Vista. And Gigi and I did attend that on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Wednesday. Whatever day. It was one day this week. We attended that meeting. And it was actually, there was quite a bit of information that we were able to give Amy with the Colorado Development Mentor Program. And Amy and Ryan were both there, so they heard some more information. So that was a good meeting. And the next meeting is next week at 2:00 on the 12th. The 12th. So they're gonna meet, or the 14th, I'm sorry. So if you're interested, on the 14th at 2:00 at the chamber, they're gonna have another meeting with Amy with the Colorado mentor program to get some more information for that. Heather has signed a contract with the company for If you've ever seen the relocation guide that Alamosa puts out, and it's got all the names of the chamber members in it and some ads for businesses and stuff like that in the front of it. The chamber has signed a contract to go forward with producing a book for Monte Vista. So hopefully we'll get some more chamber members in there and we'll be able to produce a book that for Monte Vista that will allow for that. And they're supposed to do the footwork and they're supposed to go door to business to get ads and to hopefully produce more chamber members and get them to go into the chamber to sign up as well. So hopefully that will take place there. They are having a new member breakfast and coffee connection on June 2nd is what it just got moved to at Bobalicious at 9 a.m. So if you're interested in attending that. The chamber is doing, Fox 21 is gonna be in the area again, and they're doing a 15-second celebration of why Monte Vista, here's Monte Vista, come to Monte Vista. So they've got a 15-second spot at Fox 21 to do that. There's gonna be a ribbon cutting at 1 o'clock on the 8th for the golf course. So at 1 o'clock, Dale, on Friday,
Tomorrow.
yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the golf course. They are. So Larry Brown with the sorry, I'm just trying to go through all these to make sure I give you as much information without overstepping my bounds as well. They're working on a new website that they were hoping to have up in April or May. Heather stated that she probably won't have it up until June or July now. They were supposed to be doing an events calendar, and we were, Abby Miles was helping them with that. And it happened to where Heather took the information and unfortunately it was bringing over all of our personal calendars from the city. So we don't know where the glitch was there, so we had to take that off. And Heather's working on updating their event calendar for the chamber. And they're gonna try to do more events with the businesses who are chamber members. So they're working on that and getting a new website up for their event calendar. If you know local photographers, please have them contact Heather or Savannah because they are looking for local photographers in the area to take pictures for the MTAC, pictures for the Fable Communications for the flyer. That's it. And if you guys want me to bring back numbers and a more detailed report, I would be more than happy to do that. I would prefer to sit down with Heather and Savannah and get detailed numbers and permission to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Unita. Okay, we'll move on to ordinances. Ordinance 937, ordinance for Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code. You feeling DJ shoes?
Yeah. So, you guys, we've talked about the wildfire resiliency code in the past. The legislature had a bill this year to extend the adoption of it until next year. That bill died. We've been kind of given instructions by CML that these really need to be passed. We still don't know what's going to happen if we don't pass it, but since we're updating the land use code, it would be, I think, more favorable if we go ahead and adopt it. And then whether we enforce it or not into the future, we can just see how resources go. But we need to go ahead and get this in our books.
This is an ordinance that would cause the builders to change a lot of their windows and all that.
No, this one has to do with if we have some fire and there is part of the north, south part of Lariat is in the map that they created, part of that neighborhood. And then part of the neighborhood over by Tierra del Sol. There's a little bit in the county that's to the north of Stampede grounds. And so it doesn't take in the whole
The
city.
answer is yes.
So
I mean, didn't DJ say it's gonna cost an estimated $6,000 or something if you wanna build a new home? Cause you have different requirements for roofing and siding and other things.
Did
Yes,
we ever,
I'm sorry, yes.
did we ever figure out if it was gonna do anything with homeowners insurance? Increase it? Keep it the same?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We can, that's a good question. We can find out.
Well, I make a motion to adopt ordinance 937, an ordinance adopting a Colorado wildfire resiliency code.
second,
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance 937. An ordinance for Colorado wildfire resiliency code. Is there any more discussion?
so somebody was saying it like we adopted and we done the opposite. Or, right? So
Well, the question is, do we have people to do it, to do the enforcement? That's the question.
And this is gonna have to go through 2 readings.
Yeah.
And so we will find out the answer. There is an answer on the homeowner's insurance piece of it. We can bring that back. And on second reading, if you guys don't want to do it, we'll get with more information, then we'll address it at that time.
It's still an unfunded mandate, right?
Oh, yeah. The legislature's been really good about that this year.
Anybody else? Unita?
Sorry, could you tell me who seconded that?
Victor,
Victor.
Victor, thank you. Counselor Bradshaw,
I'm a no.
Counselor Navarro,
No.
Counselor Sagala,
I until second reading.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve ordinance 937, an ordinance for the Colorado Wildfire Resilience Code on 3 votes aye and 2 votes no, with Counselor Bradshaw and Counselor Naranjo voting no.
good.
All right.
I think in my 4 years here, that's the first time we've ever had a 3-2 vote. It's kind of fun.
Who's doing the contracts, agreement, and leases, letter of engagement for
Oh.
Kutak Rock as bond counsel for the.
Made. So, Tack Rock is, they're a law firm in Denver, this is what they do as far as, helping communities and putting these projects together. So they work a lot with CoBank, they work a lot with USDA Rural Development, and the engagement letter says, yes, we're gonna work with them, and they will work for us, and it spells it out. Our attorney, Mr. Crowell, took a 1.5 page letter of engagement that they sent and had all these additions, and so he turned it into 7 pages. The lead attorney on here, I think it's kind of fun. Her last name is Dennis as well, but no family connection. And just in a couple of conversations that we've been engaged with them, they, of course, they know what they're doing. They've done this 100 times. They'll hold our hands through the process because this is really new to me and to Judy and for Rob, but it's really Judy that's gonna have to be working the closest with them and how we move forward with these contracts.
Did a motion to adopt the engagement letter?
Yes, please. And then I'll sign it, or the motion is for me to sign it, and then we'll send it off to them.
Make a motion for Gigi to sign the letter of engagement with Kutak Rock Bond Council.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to have Gigi Dennis sign the letter of engagement with Kutak Rock as bond counsel for the wastewater treatment facility. Is there any other discussion? Unita?
Counselor Bradshaw,
Aye.
Counselor Navarro,
Aye.
Counselor Sabella,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard,
Yes.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve the letter of engagement for Kutak Rock and as bond counselor for the wastewater treatment facility and to allow city manager Gigi Dennis to sign.
And then Rob and I met today and Judy met with our engineers over the rate study. And Rob, are you covering that a little bit? I will.
That's not that quite yet.
Okay. Because or just the update that we are working forward with the amount of money we're gonna have to now borrow. They broke down the rates on what we're gonna have to, how much we're gonna have to raise the rates in order to cover an additional $12 million. And we had a good work session last night, and Councilman Sabella and Councilman Howard we'd like to sit down with you guys and get you caught up to speed, because it's there's just a lot.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you, guys, gentlemen.
Move on to staff proposals, reports, and actions. City clerk.
So first of all, I want to introduce you guys to Michelle Bradford. Michelle Bradford is a current employee with the city. She actually works for Rob and DJ, but I'm stealing her. So she is my new deputy clerk.
Welcome, Michelle.
So she will be learning and taking, while I'm on vacation, she'll be the one that'll run the council while I'm on vacation. So be nice to her, please.
Looking right at you, Dad.
You seen that? You got that.
I I've spoken to North River Greenhouse and they are going to try to lay the second round of bricks over at the Faith Pinkley Memorial Park in hopefully the end of this month. If not, it'll begin the beginning of June. They were supposed to do it the last month, and unfortunately they had family emergency and they were out back east, so they weren't able to do that. So they're gonna try to fit it in this month or the beginning of June, but those will be laid. There's only 48 of them, so there's not a whole lot, but they are gonna get those done for us. If you take a look at our website, please don't criticize it. It's under construction. I am rearranging some things. I'm trying to make it a little more user-friendly. You'll notice that there's 2 calendars on the website now. And the first calendar is just for the city. In the city, it'll have just our meetings on it. It'll show all the meetings that'll take place throughout the city. The second calendar is an event calendar. So if you type in your computer, you can type in events in Monte Vista in Google, and it will automatically bring up the City of Monte Vista's event calendar. You don't have to go to our website. You can actually type it in Google and it'll automatically bring it up. But if you do go to our website, you'll see the event calendar. Right now, I've got the entire month of May done and part of June. There's still a few things that I think are out there in May that I'm plugging in, but I've included events through the church project, events through Sky High, events that will be at Chapman Park, events that will be at Fullenwider Park, any events that were within the community that I have access to, I've put on that event calendar. That way, if somebody comes into Monte Vista, they don't know our website, but if they want to type in Google, what can I do in Monte Vista? It'll bring up that event calendar. So I'm trying to make it user friendly. I've added some more tabs to the calendar on the front page, because what I'd like to see is for people to be able to go to the front page of our website and say, hey, I want to know what the water restriction is. They won't have to go to Public Works, the water page, and find it. There's a button right on the front page that says water restrictions. They click on it, and then under the water restriction is the entire website, or the entire link that Pat McDermott showed us. I have that entire thing on the website. So you click on the water restrictions, and then it shows automatically every reason why we're in a drought. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the mosquito spraying. It'll be right on that front page. So there's a little bit of things changing on there. So just keep in mind that it's under construction. I'm doing it in between everything else I'm doing. So have patience. If somebody says, why isn't this page working? It's because I'm changing things around a little bit. Okay. Working on the resolutions to change the fees for our court. As you know, in our current code, it says that our fee is 25 and our surcharge is 25. At the next meeting, hopefully I'll have that resolution done where the fees will go back up to 50 and the surcharge will go back up to 50. The same with the resolution for the time of the court case. Right now, our court cases say, our code says we can only keep the court case open for a year and then we have to close it. That resolution will be in front of you at the next council meeting as well, where we'll take that off the record, off the books, where we can keep the court case open for the maximum 3 years that the state allows us to. Working on policies and procedures for the police, or for the courts, and for licensing. And then working on updating our franchise agreements. So staying busy. Any questions?
Thank you, Unita. Public Works. Mr. Vance.
Thank you. I apologize for not having a formal written report in your packet tonight, so First, I'd like to thank Michelle. I'm glad she got the job over at the clerk's office. I think she'll do Nita very well, and I appreciate everything that you did assisting us. And so between now and the 1st of July, we're gonna kind of work hybrid and try to let her finish up some of the projects that DJ and I had her working on. So she'll be doing triple duty, unfortunately, for a little while. But Nita's getting a really good person, and I just wanted to thank you publicly for everything that you've been doing for Public Works. So thank you. I'm gonna try to keep this really brief. So in the parks, we're still trying to get fully staffed with our seasonal employees. As such, we're trying to backfill some of the parks duties with our street employees until we're fully staffed. We're currently still working on our sprinkler systems and getting things fully operational. A lot of our park sprinklers are older and we're having a lot of problems with the heads just not hitting all the areas. Some of the brown spots that you're seeing out on Chapman, meaning many of them are needing some replacement. We're really finding more and more, especially in Chapman Park and over in Marsh, that we're replacing more and more heads every year. So we're gonna have to take a more serious look at that eventually. In the streets, even being kind of shorthanded, we're still able to do some of our routine maintenance. We just finished a fairly large pothole patching thing, and we've done some concrete work. We were able to get some of the concrete work that we've had outstanding for a while. We got that all fixed up. And then on our concrete replacement program, that's a 1 cent program where we offer some reimbursement for citizens that want to replace their sidewalks and stuff that are out through the city. We had a really good response this year. So we are officially having to close the application process because we have officially allocated all of the 2026 1 cent funding. We were able to assist approximately 8 properties, including a couple larger areas, such as the Nazarene Church and the area around Safeway and that first block there of Monroe. Worked a deal out with one of our local concrete suppliers that enabled us to do that entire block. So if you notice, a lot of that sidewalk is missing. We've got other sections that are already formed. So we're gonna the goal is to replace everything on that one side because it was totally chewed up. And then on the Safeway side, all the stuff that the limbs or the roots have heaved, we're gonna replace all of that and get a good sidewalk in that entire block because it gets a lot of foot traffic. We also were able to do another section there in the downtown off of Washington. We were able to add at the Tri-County Seniors an ADA ramp. So the seniors, they do fire drills and they actually stage at the food bank if there's a fire there. So we were able to tear out that corner and put in an ADA ramp on that area. So instead of them having to come out, go a half a block down and cross at the alley, they now can come straight out of their building down the block, straight across and stage where they need to. So that part has already been done. And then we have about 5 private residences that we're able to help. So it's been a good year. So we're working on that. On the utility side, we have an opening at the wastewater plant, and the 2 employees that are working there are getting some overtime, trying to fill that shortage as it is a 7-day-a-week operation. We're currently that process, the application process closed last week. So we're currently reviewing applications and we'll be interviewing pretty soon. On the grant front, there's not a whole lot new. Gigi and I did present to DOLA this week for a $1 million grant to help with our new wastewater plant for the funding grant. We'll hear hopefully pretty soon on that. There was a lot of applicants and the funding is a little low, so we're hopeful. I'm not sure we'll get the full $1 million, but we're hopeful we'll get some funding. The MMOF grant is moving along well. We're final design is done. And we're waiting on CDOT final design approvals. And the approval to bid is expected in late June. We just had a meeting this morning on that. Everything on the CDOT side is moving fine. No major hiccups, so we are still on that trajectory to be allowed to bid the project in June or late June. So we are still on schedule for a fall 2026 construction start. Also on the funding side for that project, there has been talk at the state of cutting funding. But we did get confirmation that our grant so far is perfectly safe, that our grant is old enough that they haven't looked at our funds. Our funds have been appropriated and pulled in, so we are okay. So we're not within that pocket. So I think we're okay on that area. The airport grant, our pavement preservation project is on task and schedule. And so we are still looking to move forward as planned for this fall construction. And pretty much all the other grants are moving according to schedules. I mentioned earlier during the Arbor Day that our trees are expected to arrive in early June for the spring planting schedule. I did, Nita touched on it a little bit, but our mosquito spray, a couple of changes, and I'll just kind of touch on those. For the route, we're going back to the north-south roads. We changed our product from the malathion to a chemical called Permex 4-4. And I did purchase 2 mosquito traps that we're gonna put one trap here at Chapman Park in the trees. And we're gonna do another one at our Henderson Lagoon site. And while we don't have the budget to do testing, we are gonna do counts. And we're gonna look for the species that carry West Nile and the diseases. And instead of starting specifically on a date, we will wait until we have a specific number of mosquitoes, and then we will start our spray operations. And right now it's been dry enough until just a couple days ago. Really not very many, if any, mosquitoes out and about. So, and then kind of to finalize things, June, this council asked to review the water restrictions. I will not be in attendance for the June meeting, the first meeting in June. I will have in your packets not only the one that is currently in effect, but I will also have the stage 2. If city council has members want any ideas for changes, I will gladly take those individual emails, and I will throw those in the packet to make sure you have those so you can discuss those. So please don't hesitate individually to email me. I will make sure you do that, but I am probably going to take the longest planned vacation that I have ever taken in my professional career, but I am going to be gone from June 3rd through June 15th. I'll be back in the office on June 16th. So with that, I'm done unless you have any specific questions.
What are we doing down on 6th?
What's that?
What's the project going down?
So that is there's an annexation petition. And part of that petition was to extend water to the Pacheco's trailer court on South Henderson there. And it was agreed that they could go ahead because their trailer court is having some water issues, that we would go ahead and extend water to them prior to them getting the full annexation. So they're extending water from Faraday out to that trailer court. So they're paying for it. We're just overseeing that construction. I have the plans, I've approved the plans, and they started that this last week. So that's all it is. And we're making them just for future. They're extending the main the same size as what's there. So an 8-inch main all the way down along 6th, all the way to South Henderson. And then they'll neck it down to what they need there past the intersection. So we will have a water main suitable for future growth on either side. So, thank you. Any other questions? Anybody else?
Rob, thank you. PD. Chief Charlie. Or Charlie the Chief.
I'll keep this pretty brief. We do have a lot of things going on. Last week, we just finished up a sergeant assessment with 5 officers from the police department. I'm finishing up final interviews, probably Monday next week. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to determine new sergeant positions. We opened up our CSO position. We went through a code enforcement, community service officer, went through a process for those. Had a good candidate, was moving them forward to a background, and then he had to move away and go back to Alaska. So we're reopened that position and restart that one again. We did a police officer process last week as well. We had 3 candidates that came in. 2 of those have moved on to backgrounds, so we'll see how well they do. They need to get all their background stuff in, and it'll probably take about 2 to 3 weeks to get them through backgrounds. But crossing my fingers with that. We additionally opened up the position again, so we can keep that constantly going. So hopefully we can get some candidates in there, and when we see them, we'll pull them in, start interviewing them right away. We did have a change. We do have one of our officers that decided it's going to be leaving us and stepping down to take a different job. So that'll put us in a little bind. So we are changing up our schedules a little bit, just so we're making sure that we get 24-hour coverage within the city, changing a few things around to support in areas that we need to make sure that we're out there and we're keeping not only the community safe, but our officers safe in the areas that we need. So it'll be a little bit tougher losing one officer. You know, you'd say, yeah, it doesn't mean, but it does throw a lot when we're already down a couple and trying to get those filled. And it will take us time. You know, even when we do get those officers to get in here, it takes us time. It's up to 16 weeks to get an officer through the FTO program and make sure that they're, you know, ready to go and be out on their own. So it will be a little bit. This is our busiest time of year, so I'm learning all these things with all the events that come up. And, you know, the police department, all city staff gets pulled in a lot of different directions. But we are working closely with the Stampede. I say I haven't really worked with the committee, but I've worked with some members of the committee, putting an operational plan together for the rodeo and the 4 days that are coming up. That will best serve, I think, the community and keep us safe. It's probably a little bit different than maybe they've had in the past, but I'm hoping that what I've presented to them and what I've provided going forward will suffice and give them the reasons why those things are in place. We did, me and DJ went over to Rio Grande County and did a Colorado Emergency Preparedness Assessment with the Homeland Security, just kind of looking at everything if we did have a natural disaster or a major event throughout the region here. How prepared are we? What resources do we have? It's really probably was more developed towards the county, but it was really good to sit in on and see the resources that are out there, or resources we do and we don't have, and where we come together for those. So that was good to work with some other people. And other than that, I mean, we're very busy, but it's all been going really well. So, questions? Nothing. And
Thank you, sir. IT.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So this last month, quite busy, just trying to get things prepared for summer with the golf course and all that coming on. But some of the bigger things that we did, we pushed Cassell updates for the financial software. That was just routine updates on that one. We began rolling out our new RMM, which is a ticketing system and an asset tracker called SuperOps. I'm sure you guys got an email about that, as I know I got some confused emails back asking if it was a phishing attempt or any of that. That is an email coming from us, so just a heads up. That software is purely so that way we can track assets a little bit better for what we deploy out. And then also it's a new ticketing system. We're trying to move away from SpiceWorks, our current system, as it's just kind of become more of a pain than anything else to try and upkeep with all the changes they've been making in the background. We have completed our VPN swap. We had a VPN tunnel that was directly built into the server here. We decided to swap away from that as the company kept being acquired and just becoming more and more difficult to work with. We are now going through our firewall itself as they have a built-in VPN tunnel. So this just allows us to keep on track with keeping everyone connected a little bit further. And with that as well, instead of it being a piece of software that has to authenticate the laptop, it's just a handshake between emails now. A lot easier. Hopefully helps everyone stay connected as they're out and about on vacation or off traveling to events. I have began phone prep for seasonals for Public Works. And then I went through and evaluated a lot of the laptops that we have in the back. As we go through the years, we do the replacements, as you guys have seen this last year. I went through and pulled whatever that I could salvage that could still be used on Windows 11. So that way we have some spare laptops for deploying out for emergencies. Chief had used a couple of them for interviews and just things like that, trying to make sure that if we're deploying a laptop out, they're at least secured and up on security updates. And then just pushing normal updates to our servers, make sure security fixes are good to go. Other than that, I want to give everyone a heads up that I will be on vacation next week. However, I will have Alejandro here in my stead. And if you guys need anything, just reach out to Inland IT. We're more than happy to answer any questions. Other than that, I do open up some questions.
Any questions for the IT guys? Got something for you though. It's that pin that went with that.
Alrighty.
I appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it, man. City manager. Oh, she got big piece of paper.
This is for show and tell. I attended a work session a couple weeks ago with the county commissioners to listen in on a presentation. There's a company called Yosemite Clean Energy who would like to build a biomass methane plant in Rio Grande County. So I've been trying to help them kind of locate some land that would be available. They want to be closer to a railroad track. They need about 40 acres, but the footprint of their building is only about 3 acres. And this is the same group that the railroad gave the yellow building to at Full and Wider Park, and they want to refurbish that building and turn it into like an energy education museum center thing. And this guy didn't, so this Yosemite Energy is out of California. And then there's a guy named Nick Parker, and he's out of Texas. And then there's a guy out of Monument that they're using as kind of the local person to get involved with and try and figure this out. I think it'd be good for the county. At first, they wanted to know if they could be within city limits in an industrial zone. We said no. I mean, they could, but they're going to have like 150-foot tall stack, and I don't think that's what we want to see in our industrial area of the city. And the commissioners seemed open to learning more. They've been working with Dan Dallas, who's the regional, I'm not sure of Dan's full title, but regional forester for Rio Grande County. And Dan has told them that they have enough forest just right here in the Rio Grande to have 40 years worth of product. So be a way to help clean up our forest and help reduce wildfires and would prevent, create some good jobs and that sort of thing. So if, as that progresses through the county commissioners, I'll let you guys know. Lauren, you look puzzled, like kind of interested maybe, but we'll let you know if you want to listen.
Biomass and methane.
Mhm. Isn't that what you turn it into? They're taking, well, they're doing something with it. They're taking the biomass. I'm pretty sure it's into methane.
What are they doing with the methane?
Um,
Energy.
Is it methane or ethanol?
It's
mhm.
methane.
Methane? Hmm.
And they want to put it on the rails and move it out.
Okay.
So I haven't seen anything in the newspapers about that, so I'm not sure where, once people begin to kind of catch on, if there's gonna be any backlash, but let's see, something else. I attended a meeting up in Moscow that the San Luis Valley Tourism Association put on. And so we've got our Rio Grande tourism, and then it's broken down into the 3 tourism groups of South Fork, Del Norte, and Monte Vista. Well, this has been an offshoot and a group of people that have been doing tourism stuff for a long time. And they're kind of like the stepchild to the tourism boards. But Cale Mortensen is helping them, and Cale is the one that runs Visit Alamosa. And the one thing that they are advocating for is a marketing tax on lodgers. So right now, Monte Vista has a 2% lodging tax, or Rio Grande County has a 2% lodging tax that we get our lodging budget for, and that's distributed through the tourism board at the chamber. The legislature will allow a marketing tax up to 6%. Cale's idea, which I agree with, I would like to see something like this happen, is that all 6 counties would have to pass it. It'd have to go to a vote. Only those staying in hotels or Airbnbs or RV parks are paying that tax. And then we market the San Luis Valley as a whole, not just, Monte Vista struggling with the $50,000 that they give us to market. It'd be all encompassing. Because Alamosa currently does have a marketing tax at 2%. So that gives them money to be able to go to some of these conventions where they can market Alamosa to international visitors. But that's all they're gonna market is just Alamosa, because that's what their tax is allocated to. And so his idea is, let's join forces, let's do this together and market the valley. And then when he's going to some of these conferences, he can say, you've got another 9-hole golf course in Monte Vista, and you've got blah, 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 blah. And help these people create not just 1 or 2 days of let's go to the sand dunes and then we get out of the valley, but here's a whole array of things that can be done. I am not optimistic. South Fork is not conducive of sharing anything, and those hotel owners and resort owners are very concerned about outpricing the market. And but if this ever would get legs, I would hope that council would consider endorsing it as well, because I think it could be really beneficial for the whole southern part of the state. Last week, for a couple of days, I had applied for a little scholarship and attended the Colorado Parks and Wildlife Partners in Outdoors Conference in Colorado Springs. The best part of it was I had a few minutes with the new CPW director, and then with the deputy director for the Department of Natural Resources. And I think I've come up with a really cool idea that I need their help on. And I don't want to say it now since this is being recorded, because I don't want someone else to listen in and take my idea. So one-on-one, I can tell you guys this creative idea, and I'm hoping that even Yvette would be interested in hearing about it, and we can partner with the state on something really positive for the community. A couple of other shout outs. I want to thank Terry Carroll. She has a business downtown and put together with a few other volunteers Cinco de Mayo on Saturday. And I think they did a great job in trying to keep that little festival going. Cheryl Morris finished the mural out front. If you guys noticed that driving up. The Optimistics were generous and they paid for that to happen. So we're pretty tickled with the outcome. I think Unita already mentioned the golf course. Their ribbon cutting is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I had breakfast with Bob Gill. So the Monte Vista has 2 board members on that. And Bob Gill, when he was here as the Human Resources Director, plays golf, wanted to stay on, and we just don't have that many employees that have a membership. So I've left Bob on. I feel good about that. I mean, he keeps me updated and he's a good advocate for the city. And then Zeke Cisneros will be the other representative. And so my concern, the golf, kudos to the golf board. And I don't know what your remarks are going to be tomorrow, Dale. Remember they asked you to speak.
Yeah.
Jake did. I'm concerned that the city isn't going to get the credit that we deserve. And to help, and so Bob is going to get on the agenda and deliver that message so we don't have to be tooting our own horn. But the council, you guys had approved $40,000 for 2 years. So we've paid for that. Through Public Works, we've done all of the water and sewer. We didn't charge them for that. Then Judy has spent a tremendous amount of administrative time because we're having to be the administrator of the grants that they've received. And then our IT department put in the security cameras, and those security cameras are tied into our security system here at the city. And so I said that we would continue to pay for that because that gives the police department access to see what they're doing over there in that building if something would go awry. You know, bottom line with is about $1 million project, lots and lots of volunteers and in-kind products, and the community really came together to get that thing built. And it'll become a city asset. And so the city also pays for the insurance on it. And so I just want you guys to know that if you hear anything in the community, you can proudly say that we've been a big part of helping them and been very supportive. I mentioned last time that you might be receiving a little survey card in the mail from what's paid by the Lore Foundation. This has to do with the community building that the housing project behind the Legacy is interested in building. And it also asks some other economic community impact questions. I got one of it. And so if you get one of these in the mail, take the time, fill it out, give your opinion, and it closes tomorrow. No, the 8th. What's today? The 7th. It closes tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're gonna push it to be open for anybody who has the link. So I'll be posting that so that if they didn't get a card, they can still take the survey.
Okay.
Next week.
Has that been being texted out too? I got a deal about a survey for the city of Monte Vista on text.
No, it's just that and the QR code and hotline.
Okay.
Another message too.
Hmm.
Same message.
Do you know what that would be, Anita?
So did you all get a text message from Text My Gov?
It says clear insights.
No, that is a scandal.
Oh, says hello, Monte Vista residents. This is a final reminder to participate in our survey of Monte Vista residents about important issues in your community.
You clicked the link. didn't you?
No, I haven't touched it.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the second message they sent me, actually.
Facebook posted that is not from us. Could you forward that to me?
Yeah.
Please.
I can't, cause I nuked it. After my experience with killing a computer, I don't mess with that anymore.
Urged is still meeting. Our next quarterly meeting is May the 19th, 11:45 at the Rio Grande Club. And the speaker is gonna be the gentleman who's putting in the great big RV park up there. I don't remember his name, but if anybody's interested, let us know. We can turn in your reservation. The meal is free and the conversation is just delightful. And then tomorrow night or Saturday night is the Kids Connection Poker Tournament. That's starting at 4:30. We still need another dealer. So if you guys know how to shuffle out cards, would you please let us know? Anika is kind of in a panic. Dale has the mayor's put a competition in with the mayor of Alamosa. I don't know what you're exactly. I've just never been to a poker tournament, so I just don't know what it is.
You know what? This isn't like going to Vegas. It's just there to have fun and make money for Kids Connection. So it's kind of for me, it's a screw off thing.
Oh, okay, all right.
For me, it is.
You better win.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna.
You better win.
But I heard
When is that?
Tomorrow.
Saturday.
Saturday, starting at 4:30.
From 4 to
Do they do like Texas?
It's
Hold'em?
Texas. It's a Texas Hold'em tournament.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
it's
Yeah.
$75 buy-in and then
And then you can buy in more time for 50.
whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, you buy your chips first go around, and then if you get to the tail end and you want to keep playing, you buy in another $50. And if you're not good like me, then you probably buy another 50.
Well, and the thing of it is that since it's for Kids Connection is, an agent's enterprise off of, or not just a special fund off of the city's budget. So they're not a 501c3, but this does qualify for the Colorado Child Care Tax Credit. And that's 50%, maybe. So if nothing else, if you want to make a donation, there's always that option. And then I put this on your desk. If you're going to CML, the CIRSA organization, our insurance carrier, is holding a lunch. I attended this last year. It was very interesting. And, they give you all the warnings and scare us to death on things we can and can't be doing. So that's it.
Very good.
Mine's on my paper one more time.
Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to council committee, city commission, and council reports. Councilor Bradshaw.
Excited about the golf course. Hope you win, better win. Temperatures are warming up, people are out and about. Well, chief, you guys are out pretty consistent, see you out and about quite a bit. Keep up the good work. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Councilor Naranjo.
It's a pretty exciting time. Like they're about to get busier. Graduation's right around the corner. Boys, the varsity baseball team, they're hosting regionals next weekend here. So wish them luck. My son's on the team, so wish us luck. Be a lot of anxiety involved with that. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. The Dollar General's up and running now. A lot of people are excited about that. So a lot of positive for sure.
Definitely.
Motel's coming along, looking pretty good. Pretty excited for that to open up and start generating some tax revenue for us. Be a plus. Temperatures are warming up, like I said. It's starting to get really nice out there. Wish we still got some more moisture, but grateful for what we did get. Just keep an eye out for each other.
Mayor Pro Tem Howard.
Sign up for trees. Sign up for trees.
How many trees can one citizen get?
Kind of depends on how big your apartment
I want 20.
Be careful what you ask for. If he's like, I got how many trees I gotta plant, then we just go to big. Yeah. Let's see, I mean, Gigi, look, we can be proud of
Nice.
The golf course grand opening, like Gigi said, tomorrow at 8 or 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Okay, and then the kids connection poker tournament, it'll be a lot of fun. I know the first time we did this, it was about $8,000 made toward the kids connection. I was hoping we could get 10, but I don't think we're gonna get there, but it'll be fun. I think we'll see more come as we go. And yes, me and Ty got a match going, but I heard rumor because Ty beat me the last time, but my wife beat him. Rumor has it he's going after to beat my wife in poker tournaments this year, this time. So
We saw him today at lunch and he looked terrible. I mean, he just looked really tired. So whatever of course I do too. So, you know.
well,
it's-
maybe he'll fall asleep.
Yeah. But he said he'd also try to help find another dealer. So
Had mental health proclamation, mental health month. The comment program that the SLV extension puts on, very valuable. Makes us aware of stuff that's going on and knowing the economy the way it is, the things that are happening. We at Will Morales took that course through the extension office as a team, and it was very informative to help open up your eyes to see what to look for. And last week, Larry Brown sent an email. He said, remember, for everybody that's taken this course, and it went out to everybody that did it, he said, make sure your bucket's full too, because you can't help somebody if your bucket's empty. So make sure you're communicating and talking to everybody else around. So, again, like Victor said, look after your neighbors. We look after each other in our neighborhood, don't we, I bet?
I look out for you guys too.
So, yeah.
I'm right there. I said, wow.
Yeah, he's on the backside, we're on the front side. So with that, we will recess this meeting until May 21st, 6 p.m. Monty Strong.